Hi, I'm coming to you today barefaced because we're going to talk about the canvas. So if you are at all interested in well aging, you know that, or you should know that sunscreen is actually the #1 ingredient or product that's going to help you with that. Also, if you're using retinol, or any type of chemical exfoliant, then you should be using a sunscreen because those ingredients are going to make your skin more sensitive to the sun. So this is gonna help you. Now, the type of sunscreen that you use, it's up to you. I happen to like the physical ones because I have acne prone and that just helps with that. Sometimes the chemical ones can irritate my skin, and so I just opt for this one. I'm gonna go ahead and apply this on my face. I'm gonna apply it with my hands. Make sure you wash your hands before you do that, right, moms? Wash your hands before you touch your face. I'm going to apply it. This is a non-tinted SPF. It's SPF 32. I honestly, I prefer the 50 plus, but winter time I really don't mind it. Now, I don't want to spread it too much, but I definitely want to make sure that I get all the corners and everything. Because typically we don't use as much as we should be, and because sometimes it can, wipe off with makeup or whatever. It's nice to have a SPF 50. Like I said, wintertime I really don't mind it because I'm not sitting in the sun for that long. But also this one is it's kind of moisturizing, so it's good for winter. You also want to make sure that you go underneath your eye, and that's another reason why I actually like the physical ones, because they do not irritate my eyes, and I definitely don't have to put a different SPF around my eyes. That's just not economical, and it's just too much of a hassle. Plus they can fight, ingredients can fight with each other and not work and start peeling and such. So yeah, I've had that happen. So you definitely want to go on your neck as well, because you don't want to get to 60 and then have a nice pretty face and then a wrinkly neck, right? We want it all to be the same. So if you're young and you hear about this, now you're more exposed to it and you have an advantage. You can start early, unlike me and people in my generation or older that we thought that the sun was actually good. And we'd sit there in the sun, we'd lay in the sun, it didn't matter the time or the hour, the darker the better. That's just how it was back then. So, right? My sisters and I would do that, and it was pretty, but honestly, I can see the damage that I did to my skin up until my mid-20s. So that was the Kinship sunscreen. I'm just gonna let it soak in just a tiny bit, not too much. Ideally, you would want to let it in a few minutes. When I do a sunscreen like these and it's non-tinted, I either do a powder or I actually go in with a concealer, because the base it's kind of emollient, so it lets me spread it and it's less product. So the reason I like a concealer, and I'm gonna use the Fitglow in 2.7. I happen to have a sample size here that I got from them. I'm just gonna put my finger in, swirl it in, and if you're a beginner, you can use your hands. If you don't have any brushes, you can use your hands. If you want a brush, you can use a brush. And the brush does matter. If it is really dense, it will keep the product in there more. I love this one from BK Beauty. It's their 101. It's with the slanted bristles. It's really, really nice. I'm gonna do half and half so that you can actually see the difference. So this side, it's gonna be with a brush. I'm gonna go underneath my eye. I might have to add some more afterwards. And I'm not trying to erase my face, and I don't want to do that. All I'm trying to do is pretty much, not level, but kind of. I'm just trying to make it nice. What is that word? Can't think of the word. Okay, English is hard. Okay. I might put some more on this side. Yeah, I can see my things there. And then I also like to go on top with my concealer because that's gonna be my primer for my eye. Okay. And you can see it's really doing a nice job. This concealer it's quite thick, and that's the only reason why I'm using it with the base. I like that it levels up my face. It evens up, that's the word. It evens up my face without putting a lot of product on. So if I were to use a foundation that was not very pigmented, I would have to have a lot of product on, and it's gonna cake out, it's gonna look bad during the day, and I don't like that. So I'm gonna do the other half with my hands. You can do this. I mean, it's really easy and really fast, and you don't have to use a brush. You don't dirty it, you don't clean it, you don't buy it. And I know that the juries out there, some people like it with their hands, and some people just cannot even stand the feeling of their hands being dirty with any kind of product. So yeah, I guess that's just us, right? Different likings, and that's okay. And I have a like a pimple there. I'm just gonna help it out. A bit more. I still want my face to look like my face. I just want it even up a bit because I have so much redness in my face. It definitely helps to even it up. And don't know if you know this, but going around your nose with concealer makes a huge difference, especially if you have redness around your nose. Okay. And that's about it. Now I'm gonna just clean my hands. I don't think I went this way with my, looks like I need it on my nose, my tip. Okay, I'm gonna clean my hands because I don't like it either. So that's for the concealer. And now you definitely want to set it up as soon as possible so that it does not crease. Now if it did crease, I have lines underneath my eyes and it creases very easily, also my smile lines. So I'm gonna take the Honest Beauty blur powder, and it's a loose powder. I'm just gonna dip it in there, swirl the brush into the lid. It's the e.l.f. highlighting brush. It doesn't matter what the brush says it is for. Honestly, whatever works for you, that's what you're gonna use it for. It doesn't matter that they say it's for that or that. You just use it for whatever you need it. So I'm gonna go, and you can see my eyes already creased. So I'm just gonna make sure that crease is gone before I go ahead and set it up also underneath my eyes, because I have a permanent line that's just, it's from the manufacturer. It's from birth. So I'm just gonna tap it underneath and on top just to set it up. And that's actually my priming step. See, we're using here less and less products. I'm gonna get some more powder and go on the other eye, go underneath. And you don't want to pull on it. You almost want to dab it on and work slowly with it. Work gentle so that you're not moving product. And I actually like to set my whole face, especially because this powder, it's not drying. It sets it up nicely, but it's not drying. I also like to go that way. And my forehead, of course, because my forehead gets very oily very fast. And this is gonna prevent it, or at least keep it longer. On my chin, around. Okay. Make sure you set like in the crevices of your nose, because mine will, I was gonna say sweat, no, they will produce oils. Now, I want to talk about something that some people are not comfortable with, and that's the bronzer and the contour and highlight. I know that some people are just not comfortable with, and I just want to make sure that you know how easy this is and how actually it can change your face. We are not flat, right? So if you're gonna use a foundation, it makes it flat, right? Everything is the same color, everything is the same. So something like this will help you bring back some of the color and kind of enhance what you have. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this NudeGasm face palette from Tilbury. It is amazing for beginners because it's very soft. It's not very pigmented. So once you put it on, you'll see that it's not gonna leave a big patch of color, and you can just build it up to your liking instead of worrying about putting it in and trying to move it around and trying to take off because it was too much. Now they have a contour here and the bronzer. Contour is the cool one, and then the bronzer is a warmer color, like more brown. You can do either or. I'm going to show you how to do the actual separate ones, and then if you want to do it together, which sometimes if I'm in a rush I'll do that, I'll just combine both and then just go around and do it. But if I want to take the time and do it properly, I'm going to do it now with you. I'm just going to take the contour, and this brush is from e.l.f. It's called Flawless Face. Now I'm going to only use this one for the bronzer and the contour. So I'm going to take it on. If you if you have a smaller area to work with, pinch your brush to go in the places that you need it, so you don't have to get a different brush. So I'm gonna go right on top. I have pretty big forehead, and I always like to shrink it. So I'm gonna put the contour exactly at the base of my forehead, right there. And I'm kind of pinching it because I want to keep it right at the base. You will see a difference, but it's not gonna be a scary one. Also go to your patches where you don't have hair, like me. Okay, and then I'm gonna keep it with the same contour. I'm gonna pinch my brush, and I'm gonna go, okay, get back in there. Okay, not wanting to go. I'm gonna go right at the top of your ear, not all the way up, but kind of like where the little, whatever that is, I don't know what it's called, but you're gonna go in there, and you imagine you're cutting your cheek in half. So I'm just gonna go, I'm gonna turn like this so that you can see. I'm gonna pinch my brush and then go and kind of cut my cheek in half, kind of, and that's your contour for your cheek. Don't know if you can see a difference. I can definitely see a difference. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. I'm gonna cut it down, and you don't want to go too much in, or it's gonna make you look like it's exaggerated, and it's gonna drag like a skeleton, you know. So just go down until kind of like where your iris starts, kind of like that. And you want to make sure that it's not a stripe, so you want to blur it up. So if you put a stripe in there, just go around, go on the same line and kind of go back and forth until it kind of softens that line. Now, another place you may want to do it, if you want to slim down your nose, you would start here and you would go down on your side, and same here on the other side. Now, I don't want to slim down my nose anymore because it's already slim, but I want to make it shorter, appear shorter. So I'm just gonna go on the tip of it, on the sides and the tip, so just the orifices and the tip, and just kind of gently brush it off. You don't want a lot of color because then it's gonna do the opposite. It's just gonna emphasize it, and that's not what I want. And then another trick would be underneath your lip. So if you want to make your bottom lip look a little bigger, you're just gonna go and pinch your brush, unless you want to just take a tiny detail one, but I'm just gonna use what I have. So I'm just gonna go like this and just go around it, around that, right in the center there. Just it creates a shadow, and it looks like your lip is bigger. Now, if you feel adventurous, go a tiny bit on the side too. If not, just keep it there. I know a lot of people do contour for their lips that way, and it looks nice, but I haven't mastered that yet. So I'm gonna go again in the same contour, just with the bristles, and I'm gonna wanna make my chin look smaller, or like there's less in there, right? I'm gonna fake it. So I'm gonna start right at the end of your earlobe, and you're gonna draw right underneath your chin, kind of like if you're seeing a shadow, right? That's what we're actually trying to do. We're trying to create a shadow. That way dark colors and matte colors recede, so it makes like it's less, right? And then the light colors will push forward and shimmery, so that's why we use highlighter for those. And same thing here, right here from where the earlobe ends, and I'm just gonna gently go in until I meet in the middle, and then in the middle we're just gonna go like this and just create a little bit of shadow. You definitely want to make it soft. You don't want to have just a stripe. So you want to blur it up. You go on the same line, just go back and forth until you don't see where it ends and where it starts. Now for the bronzer, I'm just gonna go with the same brush in the warmer one. And if you only have the bronzer, that's fine too. Some bronzers are cooler than others, and they can actually play as both, so you can just use that one. But because I have it, we're just gonna do it, and for the purposes of showing you. And then I'm gonna start on the top, like I did with the contour, right underneath. So contour at the top, underneath the contour will be our bronzer. And the bronzer on down here, you can go as far as you're comfortable with. I don't like to make it too much, like a lot of people just bring it down a lot. Imagine that the sun is hitting on you, and that's what the sun actually will look like. Your bronzer would be the sun's effect on your skin. So I'm just gonna blur that up a bit, and you kind of want to have it, imagine you're making a 3, so you come from here and go on top of the contour that we placed, so right on top of it. Yeah, just go like this, and then go like this, and we already did this down here, so we're just pretty much bringing it all together. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Just bring it here, and like I said, the sun would hit you in here, would bring it up here, and then would hit you down here too. So imagine your sun is hitting there, and we're just being natural here. Just natural, right? The trick here is to blur it up, so to blend it in so much, and or use less product to where it does not look like you have something obvious there. That is if you like the natural look. I like the natural look. I don't like to be snatched. I don't like to be chiseled. I like to be looking like a normal day-to-day person. So that's what this is. If that's what you are like or about, then this is for you. If you're not, then this is not for you because it's too natural. Okay, since I have the palette here, I'm just gonna use the bronzer that comes in the palette. Actually, it's not my favorite, but we're gonna use it. It's okay. So I'm gonna use a blush brush. I have the BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy. It's the A507. It is really nice. Honestly, it's really nice. I was telling you that brushes do matter, and they do. It's so soft. It's so nice on the skin, and it really blurs it up. So with your blush, what you want to do is you do not want to put it on the apples of your cheeks. I know that that's what we were taught. That's what we were told. Put it on the apple of your cheek. Smile even, right? So smile. You put it there, and then you stop smiling because you're not gonna smile 24/7. And then your cheek it looks like it's dripping down, like it's not good. So what you want to do is you want to put it like kind of like the bronzer and the contour. Start at the edge of your eye, where the iris goes, or even further down, kind of at the top part of your cheeks where the cheekbones are. So you start there and then you want to go up. You don't want to bring it in. If you have brought it in, just gently wipe it. I'm just gonna put some more. This is very soft and it's not very pigmented, so I might have to dip a bunch. That's why it's actually good for beginners, because you can just build it up as much as you want. Okay, so don't be afraid to go all the way up into your hairline. Of course, don't put it in your hair, but go all the way up. It looks very youthful and very nice. That's the difference. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other cheek. Take some more. You wanna check and make sure you have the same amount of pigmentation on both sides, of course. If you don't, then just make it match. I also, after I am done applying the most of it, or I'm done putting product on, I like to go up a bit, so kind of like this. It's not much left on the brush, but it brings it up in such a way, and it mixes with the other colors in such a way that just like with eyeshadows, you don't want to see where one starts and where one ends. It's kind of like a whole thing together. And that's your blush. I like it natural, and I don't go for too much. I know that that's preference, and you do whatever works for you, whatever you like, but this is how as far as I would go with this look. And then I'm gonna use the highlighter. Like I was saying earlier, highlighter bring things forward. So whatever I want to pop up or make bigger or look bigger, because it's not gonna make it bigger, it's just gonna make it look bigger, I'm just gonna put this on. So there's some strategic places that you wanna put it on. I'm gonna take it on my brush, but I'm gonna use the top part. Bristles on, right there in the top. And where you wanna place these on your cheeks is right at the top part, on top of your blush. So right there, you see it's kind of like where the most accentuated cheekbone is. So that little portion there, that's where you want it. That's just gonna catch the light so pretty. I'm gonna take some more and put it on the other side. Same placement. And since I'm only doing the tips of it, the front part, it keeps it in the place that I wanted. I don't know if you can see it. This is a very non-pigmented, very natural looking. So if you're not used to, and if you don't like too much obviousness on your face, this would be perfect. I'm gonna take some more, and I want to put it right on top of my eyebrow, right up here, kind of like where it arches, just a tiny bit. Like when you're moving around and you're like shifting your face, it catches the light really pretty. Then another place you might want to put it is right between your, right here. Same thing, just brings it forward. And then my favorite place is actually on my Cupid's bow, because my lips are not very big, so I like to actually do anything to help them. I need help in that department. So I'm just gonna actually take my finger, because I don't want it dispersed everywhere. And since I'm not using other brushes, I'm just gonna put it on my finger, and I'm just gonna go right on my Cupid's bow. I'm gonna stop talking, and I'm just gonna press it gently or swipe it, wherever works for you. Just like with the other ones, you do not want a big stripe, so make sure that it's nice blended in there. And how much you put, that's just up to you. That would be it for me. All right, and that's actually the canvas. Now, if you only like this, you stick like this, and voila, you have yourself a nice canvas. But I like to do the eyes, and I like to do the brows. For brows, I like a pencil or a powder. Now, you can use pomades, but pomades are usually more pigmented, and they kind of cake up on your brow, and I like more of a natural looking brow. I like it to look kind of like the models, you know, kind of lifted up, and you can see like the hairs. So I'm gonna use a eyebrow pencil. This is from Etude House. It's got a spoolie on the end, and I love that. And then the tip is it's kind of like flat. Let me see if I can show you. Kind of like a sword, like a sword. I like to brush my brows first so I can clean them up from whatever might have gotten on them, and also kind of gives me a good base of what I'm working with. See, I already got stuff on them. If you need to wipe them off, you can just wipe them off or clean up or whatever. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is, you do not want to start at the front, because if you start at the front, it's gonna give you the impression that you need to go darker down the road. And what you want to do is you want to leave the front a little lighter, or if you have two colors and you want to work with that, then you can do two colors, like lighter in the front and then darker as you go down. So I'm gonna start kind of like after the thickness. I'm gonna start there, and I just want to fill in what I see that I'm needing. I don't want to do too much. Sometimes I just leave the front just as is. If you have a lot of hairs missing on the top, then you want to push the hairs down and fill it up that way. And just do like soft strokes so that you don't deposit too much product. I think I'm good with that. Filling up what you need is plenty. But brows make such a big difference on your face. It frames your face, really. Okay, I'm gonna brush them up. I usually have it right here. It's like almost like a stripe where I'm not having them, and I can't see it right away, but I'll see it after. Of course, after. You know, look up here. This one actually is the nicest of them both. Brows are not sisters. Sometimes they're not even cousins. So don't expect them to look the same. Just make the best that you can with them, and then just let it be. Otherwise you're gonna go crazy trying to match them. Now if you're one of the lucky ones and your brows are perfectly aligned and they both look the same, oh man, I love you. But for the rest of us, we just do the best that we can. Mine tend to go down, and I kind of like the lifted look. So I'm gonna use this, I have a sample size of Kosa's brow. It's a clear brow gel. I'm just gonna get some product on there and then just comb it through. Like I said, I do like the higher up, kind of like the models. If that's not for you, then do it how you like it. But I like to be able to look in the mirror in the middle of the day and they're still up and they're not down to sleep. They're not going to sleep. All right, now if you've done this and then you realize that you are missing some spots, you can just let this dry and then go back with the pencil and help it out, you know, help a sister out. I think I need to actually go back in there, but I'll let it dry first. Now for the eyes, and here's the trick. Well, it's not a trick, it's actually a good thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the same palette. I like me a monochromatic look, so I'm gonna use this one. It's gonna look nice with it. It's gonna make it all look cohescent. So let me know if you like it, because it makes it really fast and really easy, and it's definitely economical, you know, especially if you like the colors, you know, why not? And you have it. I'm going to use Miss Shady Lady again. After this time, I'm gonna have to wash them. It's been a week. Wash your brushes every week, especially if you have acne prone, if you suffer from that. Wash them up. Now I'm gonna go in the bronzer, and I'm just gonna gently swirl it in there, and I'm gonna go into my crease. So I'm gonna look up, since I have hooded eyes, and I'm just gonna create my shade, my crease up there. I'm gonna go in back and forth motions, like windshield motions. I'm gonna take some more, tap it off if you need to. Now I see that I already have settlement in on my eyelids, so I'm gonna clean that up. Because no matter how much I set, if you have creasing, it will crease, no matter what you hear. Then I'm gonna go from the corner towards my eye, to my corner of my eye. And this is gonna bring all of those colors that we put on together. Then I'm gonna dip again, and I'm gonna go underneath the lash line, 3/4 in. I like this smoky look. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye. Can you see the difference? It's very subtle, but it's definitely enough. I'm gonna place my brush and create my crease. Hooded girl's eyes, man, different techniques for sure. Back and forth, back and forth. I'm gonna take some more and place it on the corner of my eye. And bring the color in. And then I'm gonna go underneath the lash line, 3/4 with the same brush. Make sure both of them are the same intensity. So if you need to correct that, go ahead and do that now. Okay, I think it's good. I'm pretty sure it's good. I think. Okay, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the same color on my smudge brush. It's a Sultry smudge from MOTD. I'm just gonna put the bristles in, just the bristles, just tap it in there. This one doesn't really have fallout like at all, but it's just, I'm used to tapping, so you're gonna hear it. But if you have one that does have fallout, definitely tap your brush. You don't wanna go in with so much product that you're gonna have to take it off. It's easier to build than it is to take off. Now, if you build it up too much and you need to take off, it's not the end of the world. You can still do it, but it's just easier to work little by little. So I'm gonna go in the edge of my eye and just create a line, kind of smudge it on my lash line up towards my middle of my eye. That's where I want to stop. Okay. And then underneath the eye, on the eye line, the lower lash line, I'm just gonna go in 1/4. That's it. That's it. You can see the difference, right? And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. I'm gonna just work on the lash line, the top lash line, and towards the middle. And then I'm gonna tap again, and go in 1/4. Just stay in there. Okay. I'm gonna take my Shady Lady again. That's what it was. Yeah, Miss Shady Lady. And I'm gonna wanna kind of intensify the outer V corner because I see that it's needing it a little bit. And I'm just gonna go from the corner of my eye up towards my crease, on my crease, actually, not towards, but on the crease. You're gonna go up and blend it and blend it towards your middle. Just keep it in there. And you go up and then down towards your eye lash line. Same on the other side. Okay. Now I'm gonna clean up a bit. Imagine you're seeing a line coming from the end of your nose and it meets with the corner of your eye, and ideally that would be your guideline. If you, however, if you like the look of it coming down, then leave it as is, you know? To each his own, man. Okay. Now, for the inner part, I'm just gonna clean my brush. That's just something I do because I use the same brush. So I'll use the same brush that I use in the crease on the inner part as well. So I'm gonna go in the highlighter. And this doesn't really have a color, it just has luminosity to it. So it's gonna be really pretty and really natural on the eye. So I'm gonna start in my tear duct and just gently deposit some product there. And then I'm gonna bring it up on my mobile lid until I meet halfway in with my other color. You can just tap it or you can swipe it, whatever, but make sure you're keeping it in here. You want the dark color and the matte color to stay in your crease, and the shimmery one just on your mobile lid. And then I'm gonna go underneath my eye and just one corner in, apply it there. If you think you have too much, just wipe it off. If not, then put some more. It's not that much, is it? Because it's so soft. It's such a soft color. There, much better. Okay, same thing in here. Start my tear duct, then bring it up on my mobile lid until I hit midway. And then underneath, I'm gonna take some more. Underneath my lash line, I'm just gonna go one corner in. What this is gonna do is gonna open up your eye and make it look bigger. Make it appear bigger. There we go. I think that's pretty good. Then I'm just gonna take it in the same brush, tap off if you need to. And then I'm just gonna go right under my brow to kind of highlight that part there and clean up whatever I might have deposited when I did the crease. I don't know if you can see. And do the same thing on the other eye. Just from here, you don't want to go up here where your brow starts, just like where it starts to curve, or if you don't have a curve, kind of midway to, and then until you hit the end. And that is it, I think. Okay, now I'm gonna fix real quick these brow because I can see it before I forget. Okay, that's all I can do for it. That's all. And then for the lashes, well, before the lashes, I'm gonna do a nude eye pencil on my waterline. And this is from Pacifica and it's called Bear. I'm just gonna go underneath, go back and forth until I'm satisfied with the intensity of it. I wanna make a match. As with everything, make it match. And that just opens up the eye even more. And then mascara. I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Big Poppa. It's a really nice mascara. Holds a curl and lengthens, and also makes them look thicker as well. So I'm gonna use this one. I'm gonna point my face up and just wiggle at the base and pull through. Now, doing it this way, it gives you some space in between the lashes and the skin, and that way you don't make that much of a mess, because I still make a mess. And then when I get to here, to the edge of it, I direct them. I ask them to come towards my temple. I'm gonna go on the other eye, do the same thing, wiggle and pull through. If it's easier for you to rotate, by all means do that. But I like it easier like this. I guess it's what I got used to. This mascara is $5. That's it, $5. And since you're changing your mascara often, It's very economical. Okay, I'm gonna direct them to my temple, towards my temple. Makes me think of feline with an elongated look, elongated eye. And the bottom, I'm just gonna do the opposite, and I'm gonna point my face down and just keep it away from the skin, that way. Do the same on the other side. I'm gonna pull them on the end, towards the end, to the temple, as I get to the end of my lashes. Yep, I could have more hairs on that side. I'm gonna take my old mascara wand that I cleaned up. It was still a big pop. I've been actually using this for quite a while now. And I'm just gonna separate whatever I need to separate more. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. Now I'm gonna clean up with a Q-tip. And I'm just gonna swirl it so there's nothing sticking out. Sometimes you can catch the little fuzzes on the eyelashes, and they stay there and then get to my eye. So I'm just gonna clean it up. And don't be afraid to clean up with the Q-tip. This is really not taking your eyeshadow off. Unless you have like a big chunk, and then yeah. Now if you have any fallout, you can just use the powder brush that you use to set up your makeup. Just kind of do that. Sometimes the mascara leaves stuff, sometimes the eyeshadow, but it didn't really leave any, because there was not much fallout. See, I like the monochromatic look. It makes it really pretty, like everything ties in together. Okay, for my lips, I most of the times use something that's very moisturizing and it's very easy to use on the go. I usually do one of two things. I either use one of these, it's a chopstick, but it's a tinted one. This one is a red one. It's not very pigmented. I don't know if you can see that. But it definitely does enough because I do like some color on my lips. And then I also like to use, and I had it here and I don't know what happened with it, the Fitglow lip glosses. They're really nice and they keep your lips really moisturized. I found it. There we go. And they're really easy to use as well when you're out and about. So I'm gonna use this one now. You'll see that it does leave some color, but it's definitely soft enough. Now you can build it up if you want, but I like it just like that. And it's easy and fast, and it's very easy to carry around. And it's flat, the shape of it, so you can put it in your pocket, because most of the times I don't wear my purse. This is for the monochromatic eye look. And I hope I helped you today to kind of see that you don't have to be intimidated with the contour, with the bronzer or the highlight. I know that those are not things that everybody wears. If you wear it, awesome. If you don't wear it, don't feel intimidated to do it. Just grab a product and see how it works first. Don't start putting on your face before you apply it on your hand, to actually see how much pigment it has. And start slow. A brush that is fluffy will leave less product on your skin, so it'll be easier to work with. It's not gonna make it dark from the beginning or put a lot of pigment from the beginning. So start with the brush that is less dense, that is fluffy, that lets you work with, and work with it gently. Yeah, don't be afraid, don't be scared. Makeup is fun. I love makeup. I think my face is like my palette, and I just try different things, and I like to do that. So I hope that I helped you in some way today. I hope that you learned something, or that you at least got entertained. And I hope I see you next time. Up until then, take care.